ignore the mess, but I got some banana. They call it the banana, not the pod, but the flower pod. And this is the heart of the banana. I went ahead and I cut one of them down out there. They had a bunch of bananas. You can see there's another bunch growing out there. And I put some around the tree, a little citrus tree we got out there. And we got a nice bunch of bananas, but this is the focus right here. Went ahead and took out some of the old stuff. These are the banana flowers that you're supposed to turn into bananas. And it's so interesting that every single one of these nodes doesn't produce any bananas after the first, 5 or 6, or depending on your species. It literally just stops, and then the flower just keeps growing. And that's why I think some people, they focus on the rest of it. They cut the flower off as soon as it's done producing, so that way it gets bigger, because it's pretty small. This is a tiny one. Seem bigger, especially when it first starts out. Yeah, keep peeling this thing. And you get the bananas.
So wait, are we cooking this or are we cooking breakfast?
Both.
You know what time it is, right? You're the one that's got to go in 20 minutes.
Yeah, I know.
Because I don't want to mess. I have to clean up for that stuff.
You're supposed to peel open these flowers. Each one of them, you're supposed to pull out the stamen. Call it the matchstick, which definitely definitely has some fiber to it. And you're supposed to pull this thing out. Almost looks like a fingernail.
Ew. It's disgusting.
And then you're left with just this. You clean that. I think it's a lot of work. Had to pull all these out.
For what?
Matchsticks.
Does it taste good? Like, what's the purpose of that?
You know how you have cauliflower? Good question, Ashley.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have cauliflower rice. Well, you can kind of make this.
Yeah, no. I'm being honest.
It's like banana rice. You add it to your rice. It's for flavoring.
Did you close the garage?
You did. I was surprised.
I don't want muskrats in my house.
We don't have
And when you have it open, it gets like,
We don't have muskrats in Florida.
Cool because of my stuff, and it's hot. I got fucking valuables out there that really should be in AC.
Actually, once you start doing this a few times, it's a little easier. So, that's the first step. Honestly, at this point, because it feels like it takes so long, I'm just taking the matchsticks out. And luckily, everything else is pretty soft. Like even that other part that they talk about taking out. I'm like, once you start cooking it, it's not a big deal. I'm recording a video, Ma. Ma! Stop it! I'm trying to talk to my YouTube fans. And my permaculture buddies. Don't you understand? You don't know me anymore, Ma. Honestly, you see this? That's enough for me. That already took me some time. I'm a lazy person. You know what? I'm going to save the rest of this. And I could have much more. And you know, I was told that you just keep peeling this away. You actually can eat this. You salad. You just put vinegar in it, and it helps cut the what's it called? The bitterness. I mean, honestly, I'm getting to the heart of this. It's starting to be really difficult to get in there. It's like I almost just want to just take them all and just put them in there. I'm the lazy gardener. They're getting tinier. It's like, what's the point? I think 2 more leaves and I'll be, look at the change of the color. It's getting whiter. So these are getting tinier and more clumped. You know, if I was surviving in the wild, definitely. One thing I would love to know is, how do you make vinegar? Well, how do you make wine? Well, I guess that's all a little bit of practice. Oh, see, look at that. It's getting really... So this is definitely... Alright, this is it. Oh, yeah. Let's just cut it. Let's cut it open. So now, hey, you see, we got a dissection of this. I almost wanted to call it a dicom. It's juicy. Very bitter. Very, very, very bitter. Juicy and bitter. Super bitter. So, those are all the flowers. Half sectioned. It just keeps going. Cool little pattern. Oh, all the little flower pieces. Oh, here's all the... Oh, how strong they are. Whole bunch of matchsticks. Wow. That's amazing how strong those are. How fibrous they are, actually. Maybe I have to do that. I'll have to take them out. It's hard for me to cut through them, that one section. To be continued. Now this, the heart of the palm, I went ahead and I cut it perpendicular to the fibers. And it's very difficult. And a lot harder than the banana flower. I can't even get it out. Now long ways, that's a different story. Goes right in. So slicing it long ways is not a problem. But this stuff is dense. This stuff apparently you can saute and you cook. Whereas the flour and everything, you add the vinegar and you let it sit and wash it in there. And then you can use it to cook. So do like half water, half vinegar, and let it sit. And then you can use it for whatever you need. You might even use soy sauce and vinegar. And it kind of adds a flavor. And as you can see here, okay, I decided to just add the flowers and, you know, all the pistils and stuff. And I added half, and I didn't have a lot of rice vinegar, but apple cider vinegar, I mean, any vinegar is okay, really. But you're doing Asian style foods, you might want rice vinegar. And I put some soy sauce and then water. And then you just let that soak. And you know how effective this vinegar is. I mean, my hands were sticky from the juices. The juices, no joke, are very bitter and very sticky. It has a slight sweetness to it, though. But I just started using this rice vinegar water to wash my hands, and it just came right off. Like, vinegar is amazing. And then I'm just going to put this in the fridge for a few days. A couple days, really. Let it soak in. Let the flavors of the soy sauce and stuff. Usually you put a jar. Like, if I was going to... I should honestly just put it in a jar. That's where I'm probably going to switch it into. And then I'm going to cook this. I'm going to saute this. Once I figure out a best way to... I'm just going to have certain lengths. Because it's hard to cut.